Now let's talk about Black businesses, right? You know what's powerful? Watching Black American turn pain into profit, right? Ideas into empires. From the music industry to beauty, tech, and fashion, we've created billion-dollar industries out of clothing. But now it's time for the next level, global domination. Somebody say global domination. Yeah. So now, I think it would be good to go into businesses. What do you think? Yeah. Think about names like Rihanna, who turned Fenty into a global beauty powerhouse, or Tyler Perry, who built his own studio, not just a company, but a legacy. Then you've got LeBron James, Jay-Z, Oprah, Issa Rae, and a new generation of entrepreneurs who are proving the Black Americans are not just consumers. We are creators and investors too, right? Now, but while we've mastered the US market, there's a bigger world waiting. Yes, that's the international scene. Most Black-owned brands are still at the local or national level. But let's be real, Africans, Caribbeans, and European markets are hungry for what we have. There are billions of people who love Black American culture, music, and creativity. So why are we not exporting more of our businesses to Lagos? Of course, London, Accra, that's Ghana, or Johannesburg in South Africa. You already built the blueprint in America. Now it's time to build bridges across the oceans. Anyways, let's watch these videos. I'll be back. This is a powerful topic. Do not miss any part of it. Make sure to watch till the end. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification button so you don't miss this series I'll be doing about businesses. Yeah, I'm the right person to actually tell you about this because you're my sisters and you're my brothers. So watch these videos while I come back.
Black American culture coming to Mexico City is pretty new. I feel like the U.S. could never allow Black people to build our culture from the ground up the way we envision it. I'm Sierra Darnell. I'm the owner of Black's Cocina, Mexico City's first Black-owned soul food restaurant. I didn't come to Mexico thinking that I was going to open a soul food restaurant. I actually came here and I was working a 9-to-5 job, producing podcasts, story editing, sound design, that kind of stuff. And my job didn't know I was here. I was here for 9 months and then they ended up laying off my entire team and I just decided to stay. And my pivot from audio was falling back on my love, which is cooking. And I did a few pop-ups off the roof of my house and then my little tiny kitchen and realized that I had something and that I should just go for it and do it.
What made you so confident that there would be a community here that would rally around and patronize?
I mean, when I first got here, there weren't a lot of Black folks here that I could tell. But then once I started to like meet more and more and get into like the different WhatsApp groups and stuff like that, I realized like, no, we're actually out here and our numbers are growing and wherever there's Black people, there has to be soul food. And so we make that for ourselves, you know, at home or at our friend's house. But there's no physical representation of Black American culinary culture in Mexico City. I wanted to make some place that I knew was going to be representative of us and our culture.
What challenges did you face and what advice would you have?
Honestly, I mean, think of all the challenges you face starting up any business, but especially a restaurant, which is like the hardest business. And then add doing that in a foreign country with laws that you don't know and have like no ability to really be able to understand because you're not fluent in Spanish. Like I'm advanced in Spanish, but I don't have legal Spanish. I don't have business Spanish. But I think just like anything, if you're somebody who's adaptable and persistent, you just figure it out. And there are days when I am hella stressed out, want to cry, and am just like, why did I do this? Broke myself financially to make this thing happen, and have been doing it with no investors, just me.
Wow.
So there are a lot of challenges, but I also look at like what I built and I can see the growth and where it's going, and that keeps me going. I want this place to stay here on this corner next to this park and to be a place that people can always come to and and get a taste of home, and then if not just a taste of home, then also a slice of like, you know, friendship, community, and all of that stuff that comes along with the soul part of the soul food.
It feels like that because last night you had the Cuban salsa night.
Yeah.
And you had someone come and provide a lesson, and not only was it locals here, but also was Black people here engaging with the culture. And I thought that was so beautiful because it's like, it's not just Blacks, it's, you know, Blacks Placina. So it's a fusion. So to see like the two communities together and interact in that way, I think was really fantastic. We have Black art on the wall, Black music, like, you know, like spades.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were playing spades last night.
Yeah.
So it's like for them to be able to like come in and get a piece or see it on TV or like America's projection of Black people. It's like, this is what we do.
100%.
So I'm going to close out by asking you a question that I always ask Black women in particular, or just Black people that live abroad. I like to compare things that you feel like you can get abroad that you cannot get in the U.S. So I like to start the phrase with, the U.S. could never.
Black American culture coming to Mexico City is pretty new. So I feel like the U.S. could never allow Black people to build our culture from the ground up the way we envision it, unencumbered, free, joyfully, and just, yeah, the way we want to see it.
Ooh, that was deep. That was deep.
I don't even think, like, we haven't reached peak Blackness here yet.
Wow.
We haven't reached peak Blackness yet.
Wow.
It's coming.
And you're a pioneer.
Yes, and I'm gonna be here.
Yes.
Be here to welcome y'all.
So I honestly feel like we are on the verge of seeing Black women start their own businesses at an unprecedented rate. I mean, we were already starting businesses at an unprecedented rate, but I feel like specifically the girls are about to really start the businesses. And from one Black girl founder to another, I wanted to share some advice that I honestly wish I had someone tell me 10 years ago when I first started building my brand. I am Kaya, I'm a musician, and I also run my own media company called Grown. And I think especially if you are a founder that's building like a creative brand or some kind of collective or something that feels a little untraditional, like this video is for you. Firstly, as a Black woman, I feel like a lot of times we have to be our own solutions. We have to teach ourselves the things that we have to know. But I will say, like, don't push away community in the process of building your brand. Don't make it about like, oh, I need to move in silence. I can't tell anybody what I'm working on because they're gonna like prey on my downfall. Like, let people know that you're trying to build something, and then just have discernment around like who eventually sits at your table. But I think something that made my process a lot longer as a founder is that I was just building it in the dark by myself for so long that people didn't really know how to help me. So don't knock the blessing of community wanting to be a part of what you're building. Also, because when I started my brand, I was not trying to be a founder. I was just like, oh, this is something I like to do. And it just kind of grew and became bigger and bigger and bigger. But one thing I will say is that I think a lot of Black women become founders for similar reasons, right? Like, we see a need and we just want this thing to exist so that we can experience it. And then it turns into a whole business and we're like, oh shit, like I gotta get my stuff together. So my next piece of advice is always understand the why behind your brand, always understand the mission of what you're doing. But when it's time to switch gears and present the business side of it, when you need to talk to the investors, when you need to network and make connections, when you need to do the presentations, don't lean so much in the mission that you forget to convey why this is a business and why people should invest in it like a business. So take me, for example, my media company started as a magazine by and for millennial Black women and now Gen Z Black women. So in my mind, anytime I had to talk about my brand, I would just be like, I mean, it's for Black girls. Why would you not want to support creating media for Black girls? But that's my why. That's my mission. That's what drives me every day. But to the investor that, you know, doesn't know me from a can of paint, that is trying to understand why my business is something that he or she should care about, that's when you have to learn how to talk about the numbers. And even if you don't have big numbers, like you don't have thousands of followers, you don't have thousands of sales or whatever the case may be, you need to talk about the perspective of these things. Talk about the community, talk about the market, talk about why your consumer is a person worth investing in. You have to speak their language. If you are always walking around like, I am the mission-led founder and I'm just doing this work because I care about it so much, but you don't know how to like speak how they speak, it is going to make this journey a lot harder. So don't take it personal. Just learn how to speak the business language. And also in terms of like balancing, this is more like a personal tip, but I recently learned that because running a business and like building your own thing takes so much of your like logical, rational energy every single day, you have to create that balance in your life and in your relationships where you have space to rest. Like if you are calling all the shots all day, building your brand, and then you're also having to call all the shots in your home, with your kids, in your relationship, with your friends, like if there are no spaces where you feel like you can turn the switch off, it is going to become a problem. That's something that I've been intentionally working on now, is like if I'm always spending my energy in this like big leadership space, I need the rest of my life to not feel that way. I don't want to feel like I'm in charge, because I'm in charge most of the time during my day. So really structuring my life around that has really made a difference for me. Next would be keep your eyes on your own paper. It is hard to do this and not compare yourself to other brands and say like, hey, I should have A, B, and C. We should be doing this. We should be doing more of that. But take it from me, there are literal people that were my competitor when I started this journey 10 years ago that do not even exist. And that's no shame to that brand that decided to shut down, because quite honestly, I have been knocking on that door a few times myself. But it is to say that sometimes you will look at something or look at someone and just idolize what they're doing and tear your own self down. And meanwhile, that brand or that person doesn't even plan to stick around. And last, gone are the days where you could start a business and not be in front of a camera talking about your brand. I remember the days where you literally could launch something in anonymity. Nobody knew who the hell you were. We are past that. So whatever you're starting, get prepared now to start talking about it. Start talking to the camera, start documenting your process. Even if you're just like, today I'm going to a coffee shop, like maybe set your phone up in the corner and just take some B-roll of you typing on the laptop. Start documenting, start talking about what you're doing, start letting people in. Again, this goes back to that community piece, especially because in today's time, it's not enough to just have a good product. I don't care if you have an amazing product, right? Like people want to be a part of the journey. I know I said that was the last thing, but this really is the last thing. But also I would say that like you have got to get out of dreaming mode and get into execution mode. It's less about like waking up 5 a.m., having these set routines, you're doing this stuff. And it's more about like, if this is the idea, cool, but what is the path to executing this? What is like the very next little step that you can do tomorrow that will make this thing more real than just an idea? That's like why I live and breathe on like a Notion. I love a project management, something that can track the progress of something, that shows the tasks that I have to do. Like you have to get out of being the dreamer, right? Like you have the vision and all of that is amazing, but if you are not able to execute an idea, if you're not able to execute and take this thing from a dream to a real living, breathing thing, you're always going to get in your way. And that also means that sometimes you're going to have to execute things imperfectly just to get past the dream. You cannot get lost in the vision board. You have to get started.
At this point, about once a week, I see a post from a young Black person who has moved to Houston, my beloved hometown, and they brought a business here and the business is not doing well. So they are saying, I'm going back home. And Houstonians are in the comments trolling, saying, we didn't tell you to come anyway. Goodbye. We're full. What have you. They throw some shade at Houston. They're broke. They're lying. The city is not that easy. People don't support Black businesses here. I don't agree with that, but hey, to each its own. Or they're trying to find ways to grow their business and to understand the market they have entered. Okay. So the main complaint that we will have as people that are from here, that have been here for a long time, is that y'all don't be doing research. You've heard this generic statement that Black people in Houston, there's a lot of them there, they do well. But you didn't look to see like, well, what's driving that? What is driving the Black middle class? What do they work at? These are all things that are very helpful for you in a business. The other big thing, this could just be a me thing. I think people have a preconceived notion about Houston and it drives how you move from a business standpoint, and it actually could backfire on you. Y'all come here thinking Houston's a podunk town. Oh, it's a little backwards town. You know, I know it's a big city, but like, you know, I'm going to bring some new things there. I'm going to bring like a East Coast sophistication and help them. And that has never placed well. I think for a couple of reasons. One, we're not a podunk town. We are the 4th largest city in the country. We'll be the 3rd largest city sooner than later. We will be passing Chicago sooner than later. There are a lot of people here, a lot of black people. A lot of things get tried here. It's a big city. People are always trying to find some kind of new niche thing to do. So you likely are not bringing something new here. The other thing is, if your energy is like, oh, I'm a teacher, I'm better than y'all, that's never going to play well either. I think for Houstonians, we have a unique culture. We're very comfortable in the culture that we have and where we live at. We are not trying to be anybody else. And because of that, when people come here saying, oh, I'm from LA, I'm from New York, I know there's places where that's impressive. I don't think that's like, I think people are like, okay, that's cool. But like, people are not, they're not running to your shop because you came from New York. Like that's not going to be a marketing tool here. Like we're not fangirling New York or LA or Atlanta. We fangirl people from here, and we appreciate our people that have come up in this community, understand the community. So I think that's one challenge too, is like coming here thinking I'm going to show them, I'm going to teach them something. Other big thing is that y'all know there's money in Houston, but you don't know where the money comes from. And you got to understand where the money comes from if you're going to get a part of that money. So the wealthy, if you got like a beauty business, okay, the wealthy, moneyed people, black women in Houston, working like oil and gas in the medical center. So you have to ask yourself, if the product that I am offering, is that a something that they will be using, a service that this population will be using? They are in the office, half the week. They work from home for 2 days. They're not getting their makeup done every week. They're getting their makeup done for a big event. So like, if what I'm offering, does this make sense for the population that has money? Are there other people that are going to be your clients? Sure. But they can't afford to come to you as often as the moneyed girl does. So you got to think about like those kind of women keep your rent paid. So you have to think about, am I offering a service that makes sense for them? Am I offering times in a setup that makes sense for them? Because if I'm only operating from 10 to 3, who can come? Not the girl who's in meetings who's like a vice president of her company, who's in meetings from 10 to 3. She can't come. When that kind of person calls and asks for flexibility, am I able to do that for them? You should, because they're the ones who are going to come frequently to keep your bills paid. Also, too, I see people complain and they're operating out of kind of like startup situations, which is fine. But sometimes these women they're not going to those kind of spots. They just aren't. And so your client, you're thinking about, who am I trying to serve? And if it's this kind of higher end clientele, the women who will keep coming back, that your space needs to reflect that as well. So I keep seeing people pushing services or different kind of businesses here that I'm like, okay, but the people who can keep coming back, this whole setup does not appeal to them. So you're going to continue to churn out customers who only maybe come like once a year or twice a year, versus the girl that can put you as a line item in her budget. So how do you appeal to her? And so again, that's people not understanding what drives the money in Houston, what kind of jobs do they have, how can I build a business that caters to them? I think it's very simple. I have seen so many businesses come here and thrive. I will say, I do think a lot of out of town businesses, they struggle because it's a big little town in a lot of ways, but there are ways to thrive. You have to just understand the city and understand the industries and all that, and who you want to be your clientele is what I would say. And also too, you can't come in shade in Houston and think you gonna win. You can't think that we're some podunk country town and think that you're gonna be successful. It don't work like that, y'all.
I am what the country fears the most. I'm a black man who owns his own business, runs his own farm, has his own property, and plans on having 4 children with his own wife. I got one on the way that's due on September the 30th, end of this month, and I already got a toddler. I am what the rising demographic fears the most. You want to know why? Because what they aren't telling you is that because people aren't having children is an asset now. What they aren't telling you is that while some of you in the black community are selling off your grandmama's house, having property, especially farm property, is an asset now. I want you to understand something, right? If you are a black man and you are independent, you are successful, you are running your own business, especially if you are a black farmer who are, by the stats, the lowest, the least likely part of the black community. I want you to understand something. You are a targeted demographic. Everybody wants to appeal to you. The Democratic Party wants to appeal to you because you are going to be the influencers in the future. So a lot of people talk all this smack about people like me and others. I want you to get used to me. Because I'm the person that they're going to be sending out campaign letters to. People who they're going to be asking for donations from. Not only am I a black man who has his own property, his own products that he sells to people, I ship to people, and I got some back orders I will get to you. But aside from that, I even have my own social media accounts where I have influence. So I want you to understand something, black man. I want you to do what I did. And I will help you. Start your own business. Buy your own property. Start a family. Have children. Support yourself. And that's how you push yourself into relevance. Because understand something. The white community right now are not having children. They ain't even buying houses. And they damn sure ain't running no farms. One of the last things that AI hasn't touched and really can't touch for a while. I just want you to understand something, right? People like me and people like you are a problem. And everyone knows it. So I want you, black man, I'm not talking down to sisters, but right now I'm talking to black men in particular. I don't care who you marry. I don't care what color she is. I don't care if you are gay and you're part of the LGBT community, but do something. People like me cannot do it alone. I need for a new crowd, a new class of black intellectuals, a new class of black farmers, a new class of black business owners. It's a call to action. The time is now. Their birth rates are low and ours are high. Let's make it happen.
OMG. Black women have done it again. Quick story time. Won't take up too much of your time. I started Around the Way Parchment in 2021 because I couldn't find Mother's Day cards that I wanted for my girlfriends. Fast forward 3 years later, from 5 cards to over 90, I create them all, design them all right from here. Now tonight, I went to a photo shoot that was really a networking event and a photo shoot. But let me tell you how black women showed up for me. Honey, I got put on the spot for a 30-second business pitch. And guess who said, okay, sure. Got up, start talking, did what I do. From that has beget several orders tonight paid for. I'm actually dropping them off tomorrow and other future orders and a pop-up on Saturday. Black women. I just love y'all.
If you are a black midlife woman, 40, 50, 60 and beyond, you need to start a business right now. The longer you wait, the more opportunities you miss and the more money you leave on the table. Not only that, take a look around, look at the world that we're living in. You need more money. We all need more money because we need to be able to make decisions at the drop of a dime if we needed to. Here's the thing. You already have wisdom and the skills that people will pay for, but you don't think that it's worthy enough. And check this out. The online space has never been as open as it is to midlife women right now. You want to have multiple streams of income for true security because this is getting a little rough out here in these streets. And as I say all the time, stories sell, facts tell. You need to tell your story. Number one, you need to utilize your transferable skills, and you need to take the knowledge out of your head and package it and put it into a service or a product or something and sell it. So it can not only help somebody else get to their next destination, but it will increase your bank account. In addition to that, you'll be able to have the time freedom that you were looking for. Yes, with everything going on with the bill and with cuts and Medicaid being cut and people getting laid off, it's an urgency. It's not well, let me just sit back and think about it. Let me see. No, it's not a let me see anymore. It's I have to get this done ASAP. Sooner you start, the faster you'll create options for yourself and your family. Girl, starting now is not just it's necessary. Imagine how far you'll be in a year. Heck, forget a year. Imagine how far you'll be in the next 3 to 6 months if you just decide to make the decision.
Some of y'all fucking black-owned businesses need to get y'all fucking shit together. Let me tell y'all something. We work so fucking hard to try to support y'all motherfuckers, but y'all bitches make it hard as shit. It's fucking ridiculous. And before y'all bitches start My mom own a fucking black owned business, and so do my brother, and so do my girlfriend, and two of the fucking businesses I fucking help run. So get the fuck out of here. First of all, y'all customer service is fucked up. And you know what's wrong with black owned businesses? First of all, y'all know we all gotta work hard as shit. That's just what it is, okay? We gotta work extra hard because we fucking black. Y'all bitches is y'all motherfuckers can't run a fucking business to save y'all fucking life. Every time I fucking go in a black owned business, and not all, because let me tell you something, I went in that fucking Gilbin's, I think, the soul food place. They was nice as shit. Beautiful personality, great customer service, okay? I went to Pleasure Platters a few weeks ago. Excellent customer service. So it ain't all y'all motherfuckers, but y'all make it hard for black owned businesses. Y'all customer service ain't shit. Y'all hire fucked up ass fucking people. Then you ask for the fucking manager. Y'all the owners being there acting as managers as the fucking owners. Y'all attitudes just as fucking nasty as y'all nasty ass fucking staff. That fucking saying, you are who you fucking attract, is a fact, because y'all attract some fucked up ass fucking customer service people. Because you know where y'all get it fucked up? Y'all got the money to open up a fucking business, but y'all don't got business etiquette and y'all don't have customer service. It's hard to support y'all motherfuckers. I'm sorry. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all better get y'all shit together.
There are no black people in Seattle or even on the West Coast, and they get so mad when you say that, but I'm a black woman that was born and raised in Seattle. I wrote an article in 2017 called Black in Seattle, and the only people that got mad about that article were the fucking black people in Seattle. They're so in denial. The thing about it is, yes, there's black people in the hood, but that's it. There is not black people in positions of power in this state. There is not one hospital I could go to that has over 2 fucking black doctors, let alone a whole hospital full. There is no dentist office you can go to where it's black people in there. There's no schools around this motherfucker with majority black teachers, black principals, black staff. There is not. Not private schools, not charter schools, not Waldorf schools. None of that shit exists here. And that is what matters. When y'all get on here and argue people when they say there's no black people here and you're like, oh, well, you just didn't go to the hood. That's not the flex that you think it is. That's why majority of black people in the West Coast are doing bad compared to the black people that are in majority black states. That's why majority of black people here don't have a fucking degree, like majority of black people that are from these black states. Mostly every black person in DC has a fucking degree and is making good money. Most of the black people in Atlanta have a fucking degree. Most of the black people that grow up in these black states are smart and they go to fucking school because they see that the shit is possible. I don't see black police officers and judges. Nigga, I'm from Seattle. I can go to the hood, Rainier Beach. It's not all black people working in that Safeway. It's probably like 2. Explain to me why even in the hood we can't get employed. But you think that there's black people here? You think it's a flex to say that the black people here are in the fucking CD? The only place you find fully black people working somewhere is when we start a fucking restaurant. That's it. We don't have a piece of power around this motherfucker. And what the black people here don't realize is that for a little black child to grow up in a place where their doctor is black, their dentist is black, their teacher is black, they feel like they actually have a chance to become something more. A little black person growing up in Seattle thinks that they can't be nothing but a gangbanger, a scammer. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say all. Some of us do get our shit together, but it's not the fucking same. It is not the same. And I really believe that the only people that disagree about the black population here, they've never left. They've never seen nothing else.
You know what's not talked about enough? Black women are out here building businesses and hiring people while they do it. Not just side hustles or passion projects. They're creating jobs, building communities, and leading an entrepreneurial wave that's changing the economy. It was. Let's talk facts. According to the Harvard Business Review and the 2022 Annual Business Survey, Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the U.S. Between 2014 and 2019, Black women-owned businesses grew by 50%, faster than any other group. Today, there are nearly 2.7 Black women-owned businesses across the country. We're talking beauty empires, wellness brands, real estate firms, tech startups, content powerhouses, consulting agencies. Black women are building from scratch, scaling fast, and hiring along the way. And what's even more powerful, most of them are doing it with limited access to funding. Black women receive less than 1% of venture capital. And still, with crowdfunding, community support, Shopify, TikTok, Instagram, we've turned social media into a business school and a marketplace. Melissa Butler launched the lip bar in her kitchen. Now it's in Target. Nationwide, Maya Camille Broussard, founder of Justice of the Pies, used her love of baking to honor her late father and built a business that's both delicious and justice-centered. Pinky Cole's Slutty Vegan went from a food truck to a franchised empire, and she's created hundreds of jobs. Olamide Olowe, the youngest Black woman to raise over $10 million in venture capital, built Topicals, a skincare brand that's changing the way we talk about beauty and mental health. And Tabitha Brown turned plant-based joy into an empire. Books, products, fashion lines, and opportunities. But here's what sets the movement apart. These women aren't just building wealth, they're reinvesting it. Black women entrepreneurs are paying it forward. They're turning success into scholarships, small business grants, job training, and healing spaces. Melissa Butler mentors young Black women and funds business accelerators in Detroit. Tabitha Brown partners with Feeding America and designs joyful, accessible products that uplift Black wellness. Pinky Cole paid off student debts, donated LLCs, partnered with HBCUs, and provided life insurance policies to Black men in Atlanta. Olamide Olowe donated over $100,000 to mental health organizations serving Black and Brown communities. And Maya Camille Broussard's Pie Company doubles as a justice-centered culinary education program for youth impacted by incarceration. Bottom line, Black women are not waiting for a seat at the table. They're building it, decorating it, and pulling up extra chairs.
Welcome back. I must give credit to those creators who actually, had that videos. Yeah, thumbs up to them. Now, do you know what businesses would do for Black people? The power of expansion. We need that power of expansion. Imagine Black-owned clothing brands that collaborate with African designers, or a Black-owned tech startups that set up offices in Ghana or South Africa. That's how you build generational wealth. By thinking beyond borders. Because let's face the reality right now. Every major company in America went international. Nike, Apple, McDonald's. So why shouldn't Black American businesses do the same? I mean, you saw it in that video. The other woman said she's now in Mexico and she's doing so well. Think of those things. There is money in business and it makes you even more influential. This is not just about money. It's about, connection. If Black America join forces with Africa, the Caribbean, and diaspora, the trillions in economic power, right? We don't need permission. We need vision. Invest in each other, buy from each other, and expand together. What about with the whole segregation and they start, refusing to buy from you in America? How would you feel? And that's why you're meant to go, international. Yeah, and now the closing point in everything is Black business is not just a trend. It's the future. Let's stop thinking small, start building big, and make our presence felt everywhere. Of course, you are. You're a chosen person. Probably you don't know what a chosen person is, right? When you're chosen, anything you do has an anointing of speed upon it already. Now you just have to tap into it and then, you just run with the vision. That is why I'm bringing this business idea to you right now, right? So now, let's stop thinking, small. Let's start building big and make our presence felt everywhere because the world loves what we create. Imagine, look at the culture. Anything that has a Black American signature in it, it goes like this. Yeah. So it's time they start paying us for it. With this, you will see that all of those things that people are saying, oh, in Minneapolis, we don't have clubs that are Black Americans. Most of these things are African, Caribbean, and all of that. By the time we go into business, I'm telling you, we will do it better. We will do business even better than Elon Musk. I'm serious. I don't know. What do you think in the comments? I think if Black Americans start doing collaborations, right, they are going to really, really become very, very big. Like they will get to that maturity and the potential that God has really, really created them for. I don't know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you think it's a good idea, let me see it in the comments. If it's not as well, let me also see it in the comments. Don't forget, I'm your sister Blessing on Global Gist with BJ. I'll see you next time. Bye. I love you.